What is rerolling? Rerolling in gacha games is the act of remaking accounts over and over again until you summon the character that you want, usually for meta. The rerolling process in Eminence in Shadow Master of Garden is as follows. Step 1. Link your main account. Step 2. Make a new account. Step 3. Summon. Step 4. Repeat steps 2 and 3 until you're satisfied. Step 5. Linking your account. Step 1. Link your main account. If you want to keep your current account, make sure you have your account linked to at least one of these linking methods. If you're paranoid, link your main account to 2 of the methods, but just one is fine. Step 2. Making a new account. Making a new account is simple. First, we must delete the account that is currently on your game. If you have already linked your account to an email or any of the methods, don't be afraid to do it. Think of this as logging out of your account and you can log in later, which I'll show you how to do it at the demo session. After deleting the account, a fresh new account is made and you'll go ahead and start this new account like so. You will be greeted with all the rewards and gifts you get. The most important gift to take note is gems, and the amount of gems you get in a new account differs from update to update. This is due to different celebrations at the event that is going on. In this update, we have the new SF Rose, and we have 2 multis to play with, plus a couple more singles. Step 3. Summon. As simple as this sounds, it is the most brain-dead task ever until you get the perfect account. What you summon on is completely up to you, but if you play meta over waifus, there are certain characters you must pull on. Earlier I mentioned about SF Rose, and in this case, if you don't know, SF stands for Shadow Festival. These Shadow Festival characters are on a whole different level when it comes to their character kits. With this in mind, it is highly recommended that you summon for all of the SF banners available when you reroll. In this case, we have SF Rose and SF Alpha. Side note, the SF Alpha banner is only available to new accounts, and she is a top tier SF to pull. In this very case, SF Rose and SF Alpha works very well together because SF Rose is one of the most important units in the yellow team, where she can buff yellow allies. Combined with SF Alpha, who is also yellow, with her own set of ally buffs, they will destroy enemies, making your grinding process much easier. Aside from SF units, there are other SS units that you can get from the permanent pool when summoning. Of course, not all of the SS characters are good, and I have provided my own personal list of who I think helps your account, mid, and doesn't help the account at all. These characters help support the account in other ways that your SF characters might not be able to. For example, if you have SF Rose and SF Alpha, when it comes to green quests, which you will encounter, SF Rose and SF Alpha would have a hard time fighting them, oftentimes even dying. By looking at the color wheel, you will need to use red units to take the color advantage. By referring to that tier list, 66 Rose and Lambda are your perfect units to take on the quest. So if you get them while re-rolling, it will definitely help your grinding process. This goes for other colors as well, where you might find yellow teams not being able to beat neutral colors like red or yellow. Thus, if you have a godly roll with only one of the SF, you can consider keeping the account and grind gems for the other SF within the limited time. Going back to that tier list, I have separated into 4 categories. The first category is of course all of the SF characters. Then the other 3 are from the permanent pool, where it either helps the account, mid, or doesn't help a lot. In the first 3 tiers, the characters are ranked from the best to the worst in that tier. So for example, in the SF tier, we have the best character in the game, SF Blue Shadow, then followed by SF Green Shadow, SF Green Delta, all the way until SF Epsilon, and then SF Beta. So for example, if SF Epsilon or SF Beta reruns, it might not be a good idea to use your time to reroll for them. While yes, all SF characters are good, these 2 characters are what I think and I feel not as good as the rest and have been power crept. However, if you are a beginner in this game and it so happens that SF Epsilon or SF Beta reruns, I suggest that you reroll so that you can get either Epsilon or Beta depending on what banner that is, and combined with SF Alpha, that account is so much better than what you will get if you grind without the SF banner account. Next on the tier is the helps the account tier. These characters over here severely helps the color of your team. Once again, in this tier, it is ranked from the best to the worst in this tier. So for example, in this tier, this yellow Victoria is really good. I personally feel that she's very close to SF level. Then moving on, 666 Rose over here and Lambda over here, where we talked about just now, they are both top tier red units. And if you have Aurora as well, these three can literally just be your red team and add in your other two SFs. Your red team is pretty much set. Then if you go down the list, these are still very good characters. Then we go to the mid tier. Characters in this tier can help you in certain situations. For example, this beta over here, one of her skill allows her to stun the enemy for 3 seconds, and that itself can provide with some benefit in some of the stages that you will encounter where you need to stun the enemy. Another controversial pick is this Sherry over here, because if you get her and you use her, you realize how bad she is. In fact, at low level, she is one of the worst units in the game. But in the late game, when you get her to SS++ and unlock her SS+ weapon, she becomes top tier, nearly, I would even say she's SF level at this point, because she severely buffs the human team. And for your information, the human team includes Shadow and Auroras, and also this Claire. So while Sherry doesn't have a use for newbies in the early game, I feel that if you get her, it is a good long-term investment for the future. Lastly, on the last tier, which doesn't help at all, these characters, even if you get them, you might not use them. You may use them at like the early game, but if you get better characters, especially those in the upper tiers, you'll find that you use them less and less. Now we move on to step 4, which is repeating step 2 and 3. Now this is the true essence of rerolling. If you are new to this, it might be exciting at first, but soon enough, it will be the most brain-dead task ever. Unless you're very lucky, this will take hours. I'm not kidding when I say hours. I've rerolled so many times for every banner so far, and people even reroll for days. Getting 2 SFs is somewhat possible, but during the anniversary, 2 SF banners ran at the same time, and it happened to be the rerun of Blue SF Shadow, the best unit in the game, and Green SF Shadow, second best unit in the game. Combined with the SF Alpha banner which the new account getting all 3 SFs is borderline impossible. I rerolled at the time, but I didn't get them. The closest I got was both Shadows and missing SF Alpha. Then there's some lucky maniac who gets 3 SFs over 3 days of rerolling, plus getting his 4th SF from the anniversary exclusive paid summon, which you can only do it one time and isn't SF guaranteed. Safe to say that that guy won. Step 5. Linking your account. After rolling your desired account, link the account the same way I showed you at the start. Sometimes you may want to continue to roll for a better account as you feel like the current one you have may not be as good. So for example, in this case, if let's say I only have SF Rose and no SF Alpha, I think it's a good idea to save this account in case you re-roll again and not get both SF, you at least have one account that you managed to pull the SF that you want. So I'm going to show you guys how linking works by using this account as an example. You can see here we have SF Rose and SF Alpha combined with SF Iris and SF Epsilon. You can see here I named the account Sayuki with a combat power of 6113 at level 1, and this is my player ID. All we need to do now is go to menu and click on link account and press OK. Then a tab should open up on your preferred browser. In this case it is on my second screen. Let me just drag it here. Then all I need to do is just press link account. This is the email I'll be using, and it says your game data is linked, and then you can close this page. To see if your account is linked, all you need to do is click link account again and press OK, and then you should be able to bring up a tab, the same one as before, and it will say unlink Google. If it says unlink Google, after clicking link account, your account is linked to this email. If you want to unlink for some reason, you can unlink here, and then it will just unlink your account. Now that we know that this account is linked, I will show you that there is no harm in deleting account. Okay, I maybe did that too fast, but so I'm here now in the title screen. What I do is click menu and click delete account, and I click yes. So the account is deleted, And now I'll go into a fresh new account. This is just imagining that I'm doing another reroll session where I just want to continue for another account. So we just simply press agree and skip tutorial. And we just do a couple summons for fun. Okay, we're getting an SS. Yep, so we got Yukime here, all good. So you can see character list is here. We got Yukime and barely any characters. So if we go to return to the title screen and delete this account is not linked. It will just go into the abyss. Alright? So now that you deleted the account, this account in the game is fresh. It's completely fresh. To ensure, just do it again. If you're unsure, just do it again. And now I'll show you how to relink to the account that I just linked just now. So what you want to do is press transfer account. Press yes. Then the game will shut itself off. And then you'll be brought up to your browser tab. Just click sign in with Google again. And it says your data has been inherited. Start the game from the button below and you can close this page. If you press start the game and press open emoji launcher, shouldn't be a problem. Like so, it opens up on its own. Let's put this at the side. Log in as per normal. Then once we log in, you see the account name is Sayuki, power level 6113, and the same player ID. Go to character list. We have all our characters here safe and sound. I think this video goes in depth of how to reroll and covers all of the frequently asked questions I always see in Reddit. If you are watching this video and someone is asking how to reroll, you can send this video to them. One last thing, with every banner that comes out, I reroll that banner until I get the character that I want. If you want to get an account without rerolling, do follow my Twitch or join my Discord so that you don't miss my reroll streams. These links from the rerolls do not last forever, and it is also a first come first serve basis. With that, I wish you good luck in your rerolls.